Hey guys, and welcome to Code A. We are in the afternoon session. Finally, we've moved beyond the first round, so no one today is going down to Code A. Everyone who falls here will go to the up and downs.
Exactly. You have at least a safety net of the up and downs, but of course everyone wants to go to Code S right away. We have a couple of really exciting matches today, and one of the fan favorites is playing in our first best of 3.
Yeah, we've got Hero coming up first as one of our amazing, awesome players that we are seeing. Let's take a look at our schedule, though, for the upcoming month, so you guys can be reminded of all the great content GOMTV has planned, including the GSL Heart of the Swarm.
We have StarCraft 2 for you guys every single day for the next 2 weeks.
Look at that.
It's insane.
There's not a single day where there's not StarCraft 2 at GOMTV.
Yeah, the entire time we have one match after another. We have Code A, we have Code S, we have the GSL coming up for you. So it's going to be really exciting, even Heart of the Swarm matches. Jan is actually standing next to me, he's looking at the schedule and his jaw dropped and he's like, oh my god, this is so much StarCraft 2.
Notice something really cool about this season is that the round of 4 is broken into 2 days. I really like that because I feel like that kind of gives a little bit more feel to those 4 players. Each player gets their own day, really, you know, instead of both players being played on the same day.
I also like that a lot.
Yeah, that's how it should be, I feel. Double round of 4 days.
You know, Jan right now is actually moving back and he's talking to them. He's like, is that real? And Senda's still standing there because he can't believe what is happening. Yeah. Both of them just gaping at the screen. But here we have today's matches and they know, of course, who's playing today because they are part of our morning session. We have Senda up against Björn, exactly the same opponent that he had to face in the last season, in the second round of Code A. Björn has to deal with Labyrinth. Hero, of course, our starting player up against the fellow Protoss. He has to beat Avenge to advance to the third round. And last but not least, we have Yoda versus Trust in another Terran versus Protoss series.
What's really interesting I like is that we've got 2 Quantic players playing on the same day who are both former TSL players, so they've got some teamwork going on there. And, you know, Quantic hasn't actually gotten them their jerseys yet, and Center is looking really nice. He's actually worn like a semi-suit, or I don't know exactly how to explain what he's wearing. It's like, it's just a nice vest.
Yeah, he's wearing a nice vest, and I saw him earlier. I was a bit surprised. I tuned into his stream a few days ago, and I was shocked. This guy has no taste in music whatsoever. He actually listened to Justin Bieber. I'm like, whoa, dude. Even if you go for Husky's cover version of Baby and go for the Baneling, that's okay.
Was that the song he was listening to?
Yeah, exactly. I can accept that, but first of all, it's just Bieber. Second of all, that is so 2000. Was it 2010? I don't even remember.
2010, 2011.
Ages ago.
Let's take a look at our info for our first match and the maps that we are going to see, of course, going into this first best of 3. And in fact, the first map we are going to see is Belshir Vestige. It'll be followed up by Akalon Flats, and last but not least, All In City on GSL Icarus.
And don't worry, guys, Avenge did not change races. He's still a Protoss player. Yes. We have a PvP here. Yeah, a slight mistake here is listed as Zerg, but of course we have a Protoss mirror matchup. Hero and Avenge, they have to deal with a fellows race, and this is one of those games where Hero is known for his good PvP. He was struggling in the past few games that he played in the mirror matchup, but still he has a much better record than Avenge and is the favorite player here. But we've already seen in the first round that you should not underestimate Avenge.
Avenge has kind of been in the shadows, getting better slowly over time. There's the update, by the way, as a cross-player, obviously. If you're wondering why the screen just went like that.
Avenge actually beat Baby in the first round with the 2-0, so definitely not a player you should underestimate. And this is something that Hero will not do.
Davey a little bit on a downward slope, but Hero is, I think, going to be a tougher opponent than him overall in this match. What's interesting for this is that, remember, there's not as much on the line as before. No matter what, both these players are at the very least going to be in Code A for Heart of the Swarm next season. So this is all about the final season of Wings of Liberty.
It's a step-by-step process. First of all, you want to make sure that you are in the next season because there is going to be a switch to Wings of Liberty, from Wings of Liberty to Heart of the Swarm. So it's most likely going to be even more difficult to go into the Code A next season when you have to win the qualifier. But well, before we jump into all this and the match analysis, let's jump into the game itself. Avenge versus Hero at GSL Code A Round 2 with Colin Wolf. Bottom right of the map of Belshir Vestige, we have our Team Liquid.net player. It is
Liquid Hero.
Hero.
Nearly 200 games played in televised matches against Protoss. 118 wins, 70 losses, 63% win ratio in this matchup.
His opponent to the top left for the team, StarTales Protoss vs. Protoss record, not as stellar, but he's on a big wave of improvement. He is...
Avenge.
Avenge does not nearly get as much camera time as Hero does. He only has 15 televised games so far. We have against Protoss, that is. We have him with 5 wins and 10 losses, so really not his best matchup. He was able to defeat Crank just recently in the IGN Pro League Season 5 in the Korean Regional Qualifier, but still, Hero definitely the favorite player here. But Hero has been struggling a little bit in this matchup. He comes off a lot of losses against Protoss. He lost to Jungbi, he lost to Deer against both of them in Pro League, was also not able to defeat Vampire. And in the second round of Pro League, he also lost to Jungbi. So Jungbi in Pro League actually becoming kind of his nemesis.
Yeah, that's true. You know, Jungbi definitely getting a lot better than when we first saw him when he was playing after he switched over. I really like both players' hairstyles, in fact. Not to even be, you know, joking around here, Avenge has changed his style quite a bit, and Hero, both these guys just love to change their hair. And I wanted to make a comment about it earlier, but you're actually bringing up relevant stats about Protoss vs. Protoss. Avenge's hair is, it's almost relevant to mention Afro Toss with the curls he's got going on. It's almost Coca-like. But,
yeah, curly hair Coca.
Yeah. Look at the difference in builders so far, though. Avenge is taking the second gas a little bit faster. Hero, on the other hand, has saved a bit of chrono and is really reluctant to take his second gas, so he may be trying to go for an early expand or some early pressure, but he's definitely not going for fast tech.
Yeah, definitely not. And right now what we have is scouting for both of these players. They sent the probe out, want to get some information what exactly is happening in the opponent's main base.
But Hero's making 2 Zealots. He's actually, I think, going to try to target down some probes with this first Zealot.
Yep, second Zealot now on the production tab. Stalker after Zealot for Avenge.
Yeah. And Hero, unfortunately for him, not going to be able to get that Zealot to do too much. He's actually just running around the map with it. Looks like he wants to find hidden tech. It wasn't one of those fast Zealots like I thought it was. But still, he has now 2 Zealots and a second gateway. That's where all of his minerals are going from that lack of a second gas, is into the second gateway and the second Zealot.
Exactly, because he doesn't have the second gas, he has a lot more mining going on with the remaining probes on minerals, therefore the surplus that we see here, and that results in him getting the second gateway now, which allows him to get units out a little bit faster, maybe he can put up a bit of pressure, but Avenge, depending on what exactly he wants to do here, will get sentries out to high tech or even get his expansion up.
Oh, this is unfortunate for Hero that Zealot out to scout is now going to be found, and he can chase it down and kill it with his Stalker if he chooses to. He should turn that around. He should even pull his Zealot away to make sure he doesn't lose too many hit points, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, he doesn't really get the Zealot though. He could actually have tried to intercept it. I think he was a little bit wary of more units for Hero moving in.
Around?
Exactly. Yeah. He was like, well, I want the Zealot, but on the other hand, I don't know exactly what Hero has. Maybe there's a trap waiting for me, so just play it safe.
Avenge goes gate into the second gate with now robotics going down. Hero, on the other hand, is a little bit late of it.
But yeah, we have a fight in the middle, and the Zealot is really well microed by Hero, but he needs to be a bit more careful. The Zealot definitely going down if Avenge is going to target, and he does. One of the Zealots already gone. Avenge losing his own Zealot, but with the 2 Stalks against 2 Stalker and Zealot. Avenge has to back off here. The StarTale player moving up the ramp, and here comes the force field.
And that gives him vision here. And Avenge does not have anything to defend this. Hero could, if he had Warp Gate Research, do a ton of damage here, but he does not.
That was a huge blunder, not moving the Stalker a bit more to the left, and now he lost the Stalker, he's losing the Sentry. This is bad news.
Way too much damage for Avenge to handle. He's got a Nexus up, and that's all he's got. A Pylon will be targeted down here. This will actually not empower anything, but it's just going to be an annoyance. He needs to target down those Stalkers. If he can make sure that he's got the better unit production, he should be able to continue this pressure hardcore. Targeting down probes now, this is an interesting choice by Hero. He's actually sacrificing his units to go for probes.
Losing another probe here, another one. He's losing quite a lot of them. By now, he already killed 6 Harvesters. Hero definitely getting a surplus in workers. He's at 27 to 20.
Yeah, he's now got another probe coming up here. He's not going to really be able to commit too heavily. He can put a pylon down and start to damage these probes in the natural, but with that Immortal out, he can't really stay here too long. I'm a little bit surprised he's not going to pick those probes off at the Nexus, though.
He can deny mining, and that's what he should do. As you just said, he doesn't really go into the mineral line. There are 3 probes just waiting to be killed.
Now he does it.
Now he sees them and moves in right away. 3 additional probes going to die. And this is so awesome for Hero, not only because he kills all these harvesters, but he's trying to get his own expansion up, and in the entire time, Avenge was not able to capitalize on his earlier Nexus.
Yeah. Now he can actually just kill this Nexus because he has sentries, and without a Colossus or a Warp Prism, Avenge can't go down.
Exactly. Here come the force fields. If Avenge moves down, this game is going so well for Hero. Where's the force field?
There it is. Nicely done, and he can now pick off the Stalker with good micro.
He wants to get the Nexus.
Yeah, he's much more concerned about the Nexus, and I don't blame him for that.
Yeah. And now this leaves us with a Team Liquid player being on 2 bases against Avenge only on 1.
He has too many units here. You can actually just fight this. Targets down the Immortal. It escapes barely, but finally gets targeted down, and second Immortal falls. This is GG.
This definitely is. It has to be. This
what a great play by Hero. I'm so impressed.
Aggressive. I really love it.
He's relentless with his attack. He sees an opening, makes that pylon on the high ground, makes Avenge pull his probes off, he picks several of them off. Then his control is stellar on the low ground. Hero now starts his robotic support base, getting his own Immortals up at home. And with a 33-24 probe lead, 2 base against 1, and with even tech coming out, there's no way Hero can lose. There's no way for Avenge to even get out of his base without a Warp Prism.
He can't do anything. There are force fields ready for Hero. There's a second base for him. He has the much better mining, and time is also working in his favor. The longer this game drags on at this point, the better the economy for Hero is going to be, the more of an advantage he will have. This is awesome for him. 37 workers against 25. This already says it all. 2 base, then against 1 base, therefore the better saturation on those 2 mineral lines. This is the perfect spot to be in.
Yeah, this is excellent. Hero is now literally doubling the supply at 70-35. I'm like, I look at you, I'm like, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. 2 Immortals out for Hero. He takes an Immortal lead even, and just is ahead in every way. Avenge, I think, is just sitting and taking this time to think about what he might want to do on game number 2 based on what he's seen here against Hero style, because even a miracle would not be enough to get Hero back in this game. Even if you pressed a button and all of Hero's probes blew up, he could probably still recover because he has enough of an army to rebuild his probes and keep his opponent contained.
And Hero also has all the information that he needs. I mean, what exactly could Avenge do? Let's think about this for a second. He has definitely only 1 base. He could go into DTs, or he could go into Colossi. Both of this is like the tech choices that he has. That would maybe surprise Hero if you send out the DTs into the main base.
Yeah.
But that's like a desperation move already.
And the Colossi are too late, so it's like neither of them is good, but they're the only choices he has. You can't go Blink off of 1 base like this. That doesn't make any sense. You're right. You can't go Stargate off of 1 base. That's not going to work either.
And even if he goes into Blink and suddenly has a massive amount of Stalkers walking down the map, we still have at the bottom right a lot of Immortals, 2 in fact, and also the Colossus. So even with Blink Stalkers, what you going to do? You don't stand a chance here.
Yeah.
Hero is looking at an army supply of 50 against 38.
And he's cut pro production temporarily. Now he starts it up again, but cutting the pro production for a little bit so that no matter what, he would have enough units out to defend. Using all of his minerals on units now. There's no way Avenge breaks this. This is more hopeless than the PvP we saw yesterday.
Yeah. 107 supply against 65. Avenge is going to try though. I mean, can't blame a girl for trying. He's going in now, trying to take down Hero. He has this force set up, but Hero with the concave, he knows that all he has to do is to defend. He doesn't even have to move in. He has the better concave set up already. He's waiting for his range. Doesn't have the upgrade just yet, but he can really see that Avenge is struggling to find an opening.
Yeah, he's really, really struggling indeed. Avenge is trying to walk now over those force fields. And Hero just has way too much. Yeah, look at his Zealot advantage. It's insane. He's got range about to finish well.
Yeah, 3 Colossi.
He will just walk over this. Yeah, maybe Avenge gets 1 Colossus, but that's it.
And here we go. Down to 38 supply against 109. Extended thermal lance about to finish. The sentries are gone. And here's the GG as Hero claims victory on Belgian Vestige.
Really well played. Taking game 1. The next map is going to be Aquilon Flats. You know, in that game, we just saw Hero making the better decision-making, not only taking a safer Nexus, but also putting on enough pressure. And Avenge took a risky build. He did not stop the pylon from getting up on the main, and that was a disaster.
You could really see that this is definitely the worst matchup of Avenge. This is the one information that we definitely have about him. The best matchup he has is against Terran, and he showed it against Baby. But against Protoss, he's really struggling. He's now 5 wins and 11 losses, actually. So So right now we have Avenge in desperate need of a map win if he wants to move on to the third round of Codes. But Hero is looking good. Team Liquid player, fan favorite here with map win number 1. And if he can now take the game on a kill on flats, then he moves on to the last round of Code A and might get this Codes seat back.
Yeah, entirely possible, man. That's what we talked about before. I said part of this is getting into making sure you're still in Code A and Hardest 1. People have already done that. Everyone who's playing from today on is already going to at least be in the GSL next season, the Hardest 1. But will they be doing it in Code S or in Code A? That's what we're about to find out.
Yeah, and we are heading into the game now. Hero versus Avenge, PvP on map number 2 at Kill on Flats.